this building. It's essentially a fortress. There are 3 layers of fencing here, a concrete barrier, this chain link fence, and then beyond there's another security fence before you can even get inside, where there's then metal detectors and multiple layers of security here. That is part of it because of the attacks and claims against the election workers. The other part of this is the transparency part, and we got a look inside to see the step-by-step process for how this works. It is fascinating, Kate. There are poll workers that work together in pairs, a Republican and a Democrat, an election worker that sit together and review the ballot. We'll go over any irregularities. There are 24/7 live stream cameras as well. Take a listen. We've added our live stream cameras in addition to security cameras. So there's been a lot of upgrades. The Board of Supervisors has made election security and transparency their priority, and they've put their money where their mouth is, and they've made the investment that they needed to. And there's also a brand new this year ballot vault where they keep all of the ballots. There are only a few election workers that have the clearance to go inside of there. They are never allowed to go inside alone, always in pairs. No blue or black pens are allowed, only red to avoid any tampering. There's no internet in some of these areas. So they are going above and beyond to be as transparent as possible. And Kate, though, a lot of these things are things that have been on the books and happened for a long time in Arizona, long before 2020. But they are just trying to now give everybody the peace of mind to know every single part of this process so they can preemptively, again, get ahead of any claims of voter fraud. Kate.
And a lot of steps. Liz Kreutz, thank you.
In Nevada, registered Republicans are outnumbering Democrats in the early vote, according to Nevada Secretary of State's most recent data released just last night. The state has 6 electoral votes at stake, and it's not unusual for a large majority of votes in that swing state to come in before Election Day. Now, Democrats there are scrambling to mobilize their base, especially in crucial Clark County, which has more than 70% of Nevada's population. That's where we find NBC News correspondent David Noriega. David, good to see you. So what's the latest on early voting there in Nevada? And how exactly are Democrats in the state looking to close that GOP lead?
So to answer your second question first, the answer is basically in this room. This is the Union Hall for the Las Vegas Culinary Workers Union, which is a legendary turnout machine for the Democratic Party. This union and its turnout efforts, its ground game, is widely credited with winning Nevada for the Democrats in several of the last election cycles and for essentially changing Nevada from a red state into a purple and lately often blue state, although by narrow margins. Now, what you said is very true. The situation here in Nevada with the early vote is very strange this year, very unusual. Usually it's the Democrats who go into Election Day with a substantial lead in early vote and mail-in voting. Today, that is reversed. You have the Republicans with about a 43,000 vote, which is about a 4% lead over the Democrats, which means that this get-out-the-vote machine is basically playing catch-up. It's not a position that they're used to being in. However, they're projecting a lot of confidence. They say that they have the numbers, they have the ground game, they will be able to close that gap. Here's what one union official told me when I asked him how he was feeling today. Take a listen.
We're feeling energized. You know, a few months ago was going to be a little different result, but Kamala has wiped out Trump's advantage. It's neck and neck. And look, this operation where workers are hitting the doors in a big way, we think is going to be the difference for Kamala in Nevada.
Look, by every measure, this is an extremely tight race here in Nevada. It was a tight race in the last election, but it's even tighter this time around.
Yeah, David, to that point of it being a tight race, what are you hearing from voters there in Clark County about the issues that are at the top of their minds?
Look, Nevada, and especially Clark County, which is the Las Vegas metro area, this is an economy state through and through, 100%. I've been interviewing voters here all year. When I ask them open-endedly, what are the issues that motivate you? Almost without fail, the first answer is the economy, the cost of living. This is a very blue-collar state. A lot of the people here who are voters are hospitality workers, people who work in the casinos, the resorts, the hotels, the restaurants, the sorts of people who belong to this union, but also a lot of non-union workers. Those are the workers that both campaigns, both parties have been fighting for. It's, as you know, a population with a large percentage of people of color, particularly Latinos, and those are people with whom the Trump campaign has been making some inroads over the course of the last, couple of years, but we don't know yet whether those inroads will be enough to flip this state to Donald Trump. Donald Trump has never won an election in Nevada. He is hoping to flip this state for the first time in his time in politics to the Republican side.
All right, David Noriega with the latest. Thanks.
Up ahead, well wishes are pouring in for James Vanderbeek after he revealed that he's battling cancer.